One is to look upon our role as being a sort of prosecutorial role. This is the evidence leading. But the better view, I am told, is that we don't play that role. We are, in fact, legal practitioners representing a particular client, in other words, the Commission. And the test in that case, Chairperson, is, firstly, you can't have a recusal of somebody who's not a decision maker. You can ask for the withdrawal of the person, but not the recusal. The second learning that comes from the Commission's research on this is, as far as legal practitioners go, there are two broad grounds on which one can ask for the withdrawal. One is on account of confidentiality. They possess confidential information. And the second is that their evidence or their role will not be a role performed in good faith. I'm also told, Chairperson, that as far as, and I say I'm told because it's been researched, it was done by the Commission's office, that as far as these matters are concerned, it is common for there to be disagreements during consultations, and that can't be a disqualifying factor. And the overriding question really is one of fairness. It's fairness to the Commission, but fairness obviously to somebody like Judge Mark. So that's the one set of circumstances. The other, Chairperson, is where one is given a prosecutorial role. The test there is the Constitution says the prosecutor must be an independent person. But that's taken at a different level of independence. All that they are there to ensure is that an injustice is not done. They can't, for example, hide information and things like that. There are three cases that I would like you to refer you to, Chairperson.
I'll tell you what I propose we do at a practical level. I think what we should do is, one, that I don't make any decision on this recusal application in inverted commas now, today. I fix a date this week by when the applicant in the recusal application should file written submissions, and fix a date by when the Commission's legal team must file their written submissions, and I make a decision on it at a later date. But also, there is a possibility that if I deem it fit, I may decide to deal with the matter at a practical level. In which case, if I deal with it at a practical level, what I have in mind is, if there is somebody who would be available to take over from you in regard to this witness, then I might not need to decide whether the application is has good grounds or not, because that would mean that Judge Makubela's consent falls away. Another approach might be to decide the application. Okay. But in the meantime, what I have in mind is that we could proceed today, but you would not lead Judge Makumela's evidence. You would not question her today. I would give her a chance to put her side of the story, and I would have questions for her. And because we are starting at the time that we are starting, I don't think we would finish anyway. Then we'll adjourn to another date in order to finish. If on that date I've decided that you should continue and lead evidence and question her, then that is what would happen. If I've decided that that should not happen, then it would be somebody else. If I've decided that for practical purposes and reasons, we'll just have somebody else, then Judge Makumela's concern will fall away. So that's what I have in mind. Do you have something to say about that?
Chairperson, I have nothing to say, save this, that it will ensure that the entire day is not wasted.
That's part of the consideration, yes. That we use whatever time we have today. Let me hear.
And in a sense, Chairperson, it will address Judge Makubela's question, because as I understood my learned friend, she doesn't want me to lead her.
Yeah.
And so that concern falls away.
Yes. Mr. Ngasana, let me hear what you have to say to this proposed way forward.
Chair, thank you.
Yes.
Chair, I think that leaves me with a decision to make. But I think I have, with the leave of the chairperson, have to consult client first and
okay, do you want to?
Because I don't know what kind of evidence of testimony
do you want to talk
that
to her while I'm here?
Yes. Chair, thank you once again. Chair, it would seem that, Chair, therefore, that my role will end here, because I'll just be I won't be part.
Spectator.
I would be a spectator. There's nothing that I will meaningfully contribute in the proceedings. And unfortunately, Judge Makubela will also again be left without legal representation, and she'll have to proceed on her own. Yes, and in the circumstances, Chairperson, I'm reluctantly withdrawing as attorney on record.
Okay. No. Thank you, Mr. Ngasana. Thank you. Judge Makubela. Mr. Ngasana has not been able to say anything about the proposed way forward because he is withdrawing. Are you able to say anything about it? I accept, of course, that it means you are without legal representation. That I accept. That's the
Well, if that's the position where Chair wants to put me, there's nothing I can do, but I will have to address you on that. That my best efforts to exercise my constitutional rights are being
Yeah.
undermined, Chairperson. You haven't made a ruling, you made proposals, but none of those proposals obviously would have suited my attorney, because he would have to sit here, and the regulations say he must assist me actively. And unless if we are reading the wrong legislation. So for me to pay an attorney, you can imagine what his fees are. To come and sit here and just, it's not fair, Chairperson, I must say.
Yes.
If I have enough time, I can, and then again, it will be whether there's anything legally that renders me to be someone who is not entitled to legal representation.
But you.
If the fact that I'm a judge is a reason, then Chairperson make a decision, then I will deal with it. But as of now, I'm exposed. I came here with an attorney with the best interest, and throughout the day, everything we say, and I must repeat what I've stated in my affidavit, my matter in the history of the commission, there's no matter that a simple explanation or anything hence dramatic to last the whole day, Chairperson. But
I'm sorry, just repeat that last point, I didn't hear
I'm
it.
saying, even on the 24th, my matter lasted the whole day because my attorneys could not reach you, Chairperson, because they have not consulted with me. Even today, same with Mr. Ngasani, and I'm saying I watch the proceedings of the commission. There's not one matter that lasts one day, the whole day. But I accept, Chairperson, whatever ruling you make, I'm under your hands. I will simply request time to adjourn and consider my options.
Well, as I say, I accept that my decision to dismiss the postponement application meant that subject to the recusal, so-called recusal application, that was then moved, that may have to be decided at some stage, but I think the way forward which I've come up with takes care of your concern when you say, because of certain, particularly what happened on the 9th of July when you had a consultation with Advocate Soni, you have an objection to him being the person leading you and questioning you. And I've said, look, that I can decide later if need be, but we can use part of the day today for you to tell me your side of the story, and I'll ask some questions, and we probably won't finish, but we will have used part of today. We'll adjourn to another day. Actually, I do have a possible date in mind, but we might have to start at 2 because there are other witnesses in the morning, and on the 17th of August, which is a Monday. and go beyond 4 o'clock if necessary to try and finish. So I'm just mentioning to you what is in my mind, that we might do it that way. And in the meantime, both yourself or your counsel can file written submissions on the recusal point, and the legal team can file their written submissions. And of course, I accept that because you are a judge, you may be having matters that have been allocated for you for that particular day. So if any adjournment is made to a specific date, it would have to be subject to the commission consulting with the judge president that on that day you can be released. He has previously said that previously he had said if he got at least 2 days' notice, he would be able to make a plan. So if we adjourn to that date today, that gives about 2 weeks notice. My expectation is that he would be able to release you, but it can be subject to that. Yes.
Chairperson, you didn't listen to my application in its entirety, but you did it piecemeal. But if you had, I have provided my duty roster as annexures. And this week, JP Mlambo released me because I requested...
No, Judge Makwela.
No, I want to say that I cannot...
No. The JP is the one who allocates matters. He is the one who, or the DJP, but the JP has indicated that the work of the commission is important and that he will do his best to release you when the commission needs you. And I'm saying that if I adjourn the matter to a specific date, it can be on the understanding that the commission will check with him. And I do expect that he will do whatever he can.
I'm not denying that.
So what is the point?
I wanted to tell you that.
Yes.
When I live here, because I have my duty roster now, you don't even have to go to him. I have my duty roster.
Yes.
What I wanted to tell you is this week, as I sit here, I've been taken off a role where I'm supposed to, on Wednesday, be attending to a criminal trial where the accused persons have been waiting since December for me to sentence them. And if I miss this week, it means they will stay in custody until maybe December or even next year. So whatever you and JP Mlambo decide, take into account my judicial functions, which at the end of the day will be held against me, that I'm late with my judgment, I adjourn matters for long periods. So I am on my own, for my best interest. When I leave here today, I am going to make an application for a longer leave, Chairperson, because this piecemeal request today, tomorrow in court, it's prejudicing me. I can't concentrate. Tomorrow I'm supposed to be in court. When am I going to read files for tomorrow? I mean, besides the fact that we had already agreed about. Then, if you say on the 17th, for instance, I must come here at 2 o'clock in the morning, I must go to court, or a day before, I must now concentrate on adjudicating matters. It would not work, Chairperson.
Well, he would release you for the day.
Let me talk to JP Mlambo and rather get complete separation for some time. If it means 2 months of work, because it's getting on me, Chairperson.
Yes.
I can't multitask.
No, that's fine.
So let's say,
I'll tell you what we'll do.
I'm saying that,
No,
I
what we
don't
can
want to
do-
set you and JP Mlambo on
Yeah.
some collision course, but then there's
Yeah.
me, then there are besides the litigants, and they have a right to have their judgments delivered in time. Last week I was sitting in the opposed motion, I picked up some judgments. Now if I must now and again make a stop here, then those judgments will, and you will be the first, as head of the second in command, when you check your statistics, that this
Yeah.
Judge Makubele, her
It's not
judgment.
giving judgments timelessly.
Yes, Chairperson. So can we?
No, this is what I'm suggesting.
I'm just pleading that.
No, that's fine, but this is how I think we should do it.
Yes.
I can fix a date, such
Yes.
as the 17th, on the understanding
Yes.
that I can be approached to change it if there are good reasons to change it to another date. So once there has been that consultation, you can come back if there are good reasons not to proceed with that date. But if after all the consultations it seems fine, we can still continue. So it will accommodate you talking to the JP and putting the proposal that you are coming up with as well. Okay, so let us. I think what I'll do. I will say that your side should submit written submissions on the recusal in quotes this by close of business this Friday. And the Commission's legal team must submit their written submissions by close of business Wednesday next week in relation to the recusal application. If in the meantime I decide that I can deal with the matter at a practical level, everyone will be informed. At the end of today, we'll adjourn to a specific date, but on the understanding that one, the Commission would be in consultation with the Judge President. Two, you might be talking to the Judge President as you indicated, and you will be free to approach the Commission with a view to another date being fixed if there are good reasons not to stick to the 17th. Okay?
Can I maybe to because you remember this application, I drafted the notice on my own without legal. You may say I'm a judge, but I don't know everything.
You a senior counsel.
When it's your matter,
You practice for 19 years or so.
when it's your matter, you because when we were discussing with my briefly that maybe the word recuse should be along the context that Advocate Sonia described, within the functions of the legal task team, because there's a definition.
Yeah.
So it's within the context of their functions.
Yeah.
So I don't want us to belabor the word recused. It should be.
No, I think we all understand what you would like to achieve.
Yes.
What you want to achieve is that Mr. Soni should not be the one leading you and questioning you.
Because,
behalf of
yes,
the
because they
commission.
are appointed by
So
you.
whether we call it recusal or withdrawal.
Or withdrawal.
Yes, no, I think nobody is making an issue of that. I think Mr. Son was mentioning it simply because I may have mentioned that it's a so-called recusal, but nobody doesn't understand what you want to achieve. So,
Yes,
so the substance stays.
Within the definition of the tasks
Yeah.
of the legal team,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they have certain functions and they
Yeah.
are appointed by you.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
appoint anyone, you
Yeah.
can recuse anyone.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the one point I want to make in that submission, Chairperson, that it's not only, the reasons are not only what Ms. Advocate Tony read into the record. It only concerns how he executed his functions before you when he appeared here
On the 24th?
on the 24th.
Okay,
I was at pains not to use the word lie, but
Yeah.
there's no other description, unless if I speak in my mother tongue. But in the language that we are using, it's lie. And I've provided evidence. So it's not only what happened at the consultation, but also his submissions
on the 24th.
on the 24th.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's fine. So that's the way forward then. We have dealt with that. Where I might ask Mr. Soni to assist now as you give me your side of the story about these allegations, and maybe as I ask questions, is where I need a certain document, he might be able to say it's to be found in this bundle at what page, but otherwise he won't ask you any questions or lead you today. So this is an opportunity for you to just tell me your side of the story.
Well, Chairperson, I also don't have documents, and I think because when I came here, the only documents I had prepared, you remember the manner of presentation of documents to witnesses is by emails.
Oh, yes.
So
Yeah.
I don't have bundles.
Okay.
I will need to familiarize myself with the bundle.
Yes.
But then again, I will have to make it, I will still on my own. Remember now, I don't have an
Yes.
attorney. I don't have an attorney. I will have to request you, Chairperson, that is it to make a request to you that I'm not refusing to give you my version.
Yeah.
But, I won't finish coming to this commission, the approach that you want to take to start today for 1 hour. Because remember, you acknowledged that there are certain documents that, I think you, in your words, you said the oral testimony was akin
Substantially
to,
the same as
but
the
I
affidavits.
have a right, Chairperson, to look at that, because when I look at the definition of evidence in the rules, it comprises of that oral testimony. And when you're sitting alone, I won't be there. The legal team will be assisting you to summarize the evidence. And I'm not saying I don't trust you, but you are to be assisted by the legal team in arguments and everything when you write your final report. That evidence will find its way there. And I have not been given an opportunity to have a look at it, Chairperson. And it means you've also acknowledged and you said arrangements can be made for me to get the results of that, whatever they obtained from the cell phone service providers. It means, and I think just before we adjourned, there were arrangements being made that will be provided. So the picture won't be complete. And remember, Chairperson, I mentioned a notebook that I said I need to talk about. Here is the notebook.
Oh, I don't remember hearing about the notebook. Yeah, what's the notebook about?
No, I said there is the evidence that I want to supplement is contained
In the notebook?
in the notebook, which I must obviously transcribe and maybe give to the commission. That's in relation to the evidence of Ms. Ngoye and Mr. Dingiswayo, which part of it is in the statement of complaint against Advocate Bottas. But what needs to be beefed up, if I may use that word, is what's in here. Because, Chairperson, I can sit and relate the story to you, but I will need an opportunity to properly file a statement. And what the point I'm making is I need to, because whether I proceed without, maybe when we adjourn here, I'll be able to convince Mr. Ngasani to still represent me. I don't know, but my request to you, Chairperson, is that can I supplement my statements and then testify on the date that you will give, and maybe because it's evidence of 5 people, I don't think we'll finish in one day, and then
Well,
I can.
Well, it's evidence of 5 people, but I'll tell you what. As far as I'm concerned, the evidence is not, as far as I recall, is not wide-ranging, too wide-ranging, because to a very large extent, Mr. Dingiswayo and Ms. Ngoye are talking about the same thing in regard to you, and I think Mr. Dingiswayo largely just confirms or corroborates what Ms. Ngoye says. The one part which I do remember that Mr. Dingiswayo mentions is that at a certain time, I think November 2017, or maybe, I think November 2017, he spoke to Prasa's attorneys and he wanted to talk to them about the CIA matters.
Yes.
And the attorneys said they had been told not to talk to him. I think to a very large extent that's that. I'm not sure that he adds anything that Ms. Ngoye didn't say. And then, of course, Mr. Mkhashwa, I don't know how much of his evidence you have a problem with.
Well, with Mr. Mkhashwa actually talks about the termination of his mandate.
Yes.
Who terminated his mandate?
Yes.
Which is not me.
Yes.
So the only thing in his evidence I can deal with is our interactions.
Yes.
I think we had 2 meetings. So,
Yeah.
That's what I will have
Yes.
to.
And then Mr. Bottas, he has given his evidence, and then there is Mr. Ahmed. So, but when it comes to Ms. Ngoye, Mr. Dingiswayo, and Mr. Mkhashwa, it seems to me that certainly with regard to Ms. Ngoye and Mr. Dingiswayo, it's largely the same evidence covering the same
Yes.
things.
No, with the actual, because the issue is, well, now we are talking about the matter, but I don't have a problem, Chair.
We are trying to look at,
Yes.
when you say it's 5 people, so I'm
Yes,
saying...
the issue with Ms. Ngoye and Mr. Dingiswayo, the circumstances leading to the settlement of that case,
Yes.
that's contained in what I have
Provided.
submitted to Pretoria Bar.
Yes, and that
So
is...
the only thing that I'm going to add there is what's in this notebook.
Yeah.
When one has regard to their evidence where they say, when I arrived at Prasa, the first thing or I asked them was this CIR matters. So I'm going to
add
give
to
you
that.
evidence and proof, Chairperson, that was not the first thing. Actually, we had interactions about a whole lot of things, and CIR was not the issue.
Yeah.
So that's when I'm talking about transcribing certain things from this book,
Yeah.
which, Chairperson, in all fairness, must be in a statement so that the commission is able to take it back to Ms. Ngoye and Mr. Dindiswayo to say, this is what she is saying. I don't know if you will end with me, but
Well, you can leave it to the
You
legal
can-
team. They'll know how to do their
but
job.
it's something very serious, Chairperson. The allegations I'm going to make require investigation, and I will insist on an investigation.
Yes, when we see them or when we hear them,
Yes.
that's when they can take it from there. Maybe what we should do is, one option is that I can ask you some of the questions that I would like to ask,
Yes.
and for today, and still on the day when you come back, you can still get a chance to put your version as you would have put it today. But for today, you just answer those questions that are uppermost in my mind. That's another way, and I think that is questions that you should have no difficulty answering. Is that all right? Yeah, no.
Oh,
Is
Chairperson.
it fine with you? It's the two of us talking.
Oh, I thought it's
No. I'm proposing that if you think you might have difficulty in just presenting your side of the story this afternoon,
yes.
maybe I should ask you some of the questions that I want to ask, and then you can answer. And on the day that you will come back, you can still present your side of the story the way you would have presented it today.
I don't have a problem, Chairperson, but obviously on proviso that I'm going to still get to attend to the
An
issue of
opportunity.
legal representation, and that the legal representatives will still have an opportunity to
Yeah, no,
do what they are supposed to do, but you are entitled to ask me questions, and as I say, I don't have a documents before me, but these matters are in my head.
yes.
You can ask me, and if I need, it's something that I need to refer to a document, I will tell you that
Yes.
can I have an
Yes.
opportunity to
Yes.
properly look
Yeah.
at the documents and
Yeah.
and answer you properly, Chairperson.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, another option is you may have heard that we decided that we might have what I call evening sessions in order to try and use as much time as possible, because we are limited in terms of time.
Yes.
I made the announcement, I think, last week. It's been in the media. And by evening sessions, what I've meant is that we might have a witness who gives evidence during the day from morning, or witnesses who give evidence in the morning up to 4 o'clock, and then we start with another witness and go up to maybe 7, 7:30 or 8, because we are pressed for time.
Yes.
That's something that I announced last
Yes.
week. So, and another possibility might be that we adjourn now,
Yes.
and but sit before the end of this week. We could sit on Wednesday. That would give you time to look at the documents and whatever you want to look, but we would still, and then we would we would then have what I call an evening session. But we would still adjourn to a date
Yes.
such as the one that I've mentioned, 17th. But we would just make sure that we have got something that we have covered.
Yes.
What do you say to that?
Well, Chairperson, as someone who knows my story, I would not have a problem to draft my own
Yeah.
statement.
Yes.
Even without, I'm saying this obviously without prejudice or.
Yes. No, I
because
accept. Yeah.
Sometimes
I
you,
accept.
you
Yeah.
may think you will be able to do it, but
Yes.
I may be able to tell my story.
Yes.
But obviously, where my attorneys will help me would be with cross-examination of the witnesses.
Yeah.
But telling my story,
Yeah, it's not a problem.
I think you have read my
Yeah, I
my,
have.
my documents. I can
Yes.
articulate
Yes.
the issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because sometimes when you still want to brief someone, that process itself takes time.
Yes,
You have seen
yes.
that with the previous legal team and then
Yeah.
with Mr. Ngasani. But if I have sufficient time on my own,
Yeah.
without the pressure of work, I promise you, Chairperson,
Yes.
you will have all my statements.
Yeah.
And I will be able to present to you them in the manner that you wish, because I believe when I file a statement, you may say it may reduce the length of time when
Yeah.
I make oral presentation.
Yeah.
So my hence, Chairperson, I would request that the date that you had in mind at first, the 17th, then in between I'll be able to draft. This is a promise I'm making to you, not through any intermediary, that I will be able to give you the statement. Yes.
Yes. No. I want us to use some time this week to make some progress. But I'm not saying we should abandon the 17th or any other date that I might change to. So I'm saying if the legal team, if we adjourn now,
Okay.
you get given the bundles. I think those are the ones behind you. You get given the bundles. I suspect that a lot of documents that are there are documents that have been exchanged that you know, because the statements of various witnesses and annexures have been sent to you. But you get to familiarize yourself with the bundle, with the bundles. And of course, tomorrow, the rest of the week, the JP has given you, has released you.
Yes.
So we could then say tomorrow you have a whole day, and then Wednesday we could agree like 5 o'clock. During the day I will hear evidence from other witnesses about other matters. When they stop, then at 5 o'clock we start with you. You will have had tomorrow to familiarize yourself properly with the bundles. If by Wednesday, when you come, you have prepared your statements ready, it's fine. If it's not ready, you can finish it. You can make it available when
Some other time.
Yeah, but we can continue.
I don't have a problem with that.
You don't have a problem with that.
It's just regrettable that we would waste time with the withdrawal application, but if you are inclined to, without making any findings, to release Advocate Sony and in his stead get somebody
Yes.
or if we can proceed
Yes.
with you and me.
Yes.
And because that in itself, having to make a decision, which I don't know which way it will go,
Yeah.
I may now want to
Yeah.
still interrogate that decision.
Yes,
But
yes.
I don't know, Chairperson.
No, no,
But,
you are right. That's why I factored that option in, that I might decide that I'm not going to decide the recusal application because for practical purposes, maybe I decide that I'll let another member of the legal team take over from Mr. Soni for purposes of leading your evidence and questioning you. So that there is that possibility. So I'm looking at all options.
And Chairperson, if you proceed in the, because I understand you already dismissed I take it as an absolution from the instance that I should have indicated that this person and that person. So I don't want to come back with the same objection,
Yes.
having with evidence to you
Yeah.
to say this particular one, here is evidence.
Yes.
Chairperson, what do you say?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
and
So
I
you
don't-
prefer the other option?
I don't want you to, and maybe again, Chairperson, sometimes when you ask a question without it being seen as perceived with ulterior motives, it's a simple question. It's a simple question to say, the Miss Ngoye and Miss, I'm not revisiting that, but I'm just saying that when you see me coming back with evidence, when it's something that can be done amicably, don't close my door and
Yeah.
say Miss Makubele is trying to delay the functions of the commission. But it's up to you, Chairperson, to say what are the charges against this woman and who is bringing them. The person bringing them holds legal instructions from PRASA. And you can challenge me, but I will beat the challenge, Chairperson, because I've had access to PRASA documents, and I still have access to PRASA documents. I know who did work for PRASA, but I don't want to embarrass you. Hence, I'm saying, in your privacy, with the people that you have appointed, you just do your I'm not telling you how to do your work,
Yeah.
but the last thing you want is me bringing that hard evidence to you, and you now having no option but to now indulge me. Whereas when it's done in an open manner to say, no, yes, we acknowledge people are getting instructions from PRASA, people are being briefed by Ms. Ngoye, however, and then I accept and we move on, Chairperson. But
Yeah.
the aggression with which my request is being made, it's a challenge. That when I get back home, I have mountains and mountains of documents from PRASA. I will simply beat your challenge. So it's something that I want you to consider.
No,
so
that's
that
fine.
we deal with it
That's
in
fine.
an amicable manner, and that whoever you assign, you are certain that Ms. Makuel is not coming back with now evidence, Chairperson. I'm not saying, I don't even know who, I've already disclosed that someone who would be representing me here opened up about his conflict. And I can
Yeah.
also tell you that even if Advocate Malika had not left, he would not be doing my case because my board consulted with him. And it's something that I was going to disclose, Chairperson. So I'm
No,
saying
that's-
don't take what I'm
That's
saying
fine, yes.
with as a strategy.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Okay, I think we are agreed about the way forward. namely that you will file written submissions on the recusal application
Yes,
by close of business on Friday this week.
yes,
And the Commission's legal team will file their written submissions on the recusal application by close of business on Wednesday next week.
yes,
And that we are going to adjourn now, but we are going to adjourn to Wednesday this week at 5 o'clock. You will be here at 5 o'clock. And for us on that day to do what we were going to do. Now, which means if by Wednesday I've made a decision at a practical level that somebody else other than Mr. Soni meeting you or
yes,
questioning you.
me talking to you,
Yes,
answering your questions.
yes. But in
Yes.
the meantime, the adjournment to Wednesday is out of the reality that we are now at 8 minutes to 4 o'clock.
Yes.
And I want us to use the time that we have, and we have these evening sessions that we have decided upon, and you are quite happy to cooperate in that regard. So if there is somebody other than Mr. Soni that we can lead the evidence on Wednesday, then that will happen. If not, you will get a chance to present your version. I will have questions, but you will have been able to go through the documents as well, the bundles that the commission will give you. All right?
I have no objection.
You have no problem, yeah.
To
Okay.
that, Chairperson.
Okay,
I will attempt
yes.
to put together what I can.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's fine.
for
If in the
Wednesday-
meantime,
For our Wednesday engagement.
yeah, that's fine, that's fine. If in the meantime, if by Wednesday when you come here, you have put together, have drafted a supplementary affidavit or statement, taking into account the contents of your notebook, that's fine. If you haven't been able to, you'll do that later on, but we'll continue on Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
I have no problem.
We are going to adjourn, so the legal team must just make sure that Judge Makubele has got all the necessary bundles so that she can prepare properly for Wednesday. We are going to adjourn then the proceedings on that basis. The idea of the 17th of August still remains, but whether we adjourn to that date or not is going to be something to be looked at when we finish on Wednesday. But if you want to start talking to the JP about the 17th,
Yes, I would.
you may do so that maybe, and the commission will talk to him as well. Yeah,
Thank you.
okay. We are going to adjourn then until 5 o'clock on Wednesday this week. We adjourn.
All rise.